What's going on, everybody? We are back with another video on NBA Top Shot. You thought we were done making videos, we're back. And this one, talking about the stock market of the NBA, NBA Top Shot. The title is just a joke. It's a reference to a old tweet. I think maybe NBA Top Shot tweeted it out, or one of the guys at Top Shot tweeted it out a long time ago. And it's kind of been a running joke that comes back in the Twitter sphere every once in a while, but NBA Top Shot definitely not the stock market of the NBA, as the entire stock market hasn't collapsed, 1,000%. But it is something pretty cool that I want to talk about in this video that's going on with the rookie debut moments and why I think they're actually pretty fun to collect this year, and it's really the only thing that I'm kind of focusing on and putting my Dapper balance into is some of these rookie debut moments, because while they are still maybe a little too highly minted at 4K, I think they're some of the most fun things to collect on the platform because they do change in price based on how well these rookies are playing, and that could be for multiple reasons that we'll get into in this video. Also, Top Shot does have a new game that I wanted to make a video on, but they did leave me hanging, didn't let me in to early access of the game, so no video on that until I get in there. Who knows when that will be. But let's get into this one. I think this is cool, pretty interesting. If we just look at the rookies from this season and sort by high to low, and I'm not recommending you guys buy any of these things. Some of the players that I might like here may be undervalued in my opinion based on the dollar amounts of some of these other players, but not saying if you buy any of these guys at this price the value will go up. It's just like based on the price of all the rookies, I think some could be undervalued, and these I think are interesting. So right at the top, obviously we got Victor Wembanyama at 258. I think it's down a bit, but obviously this one's going to command a high price because, he has been pegged as the next greatest player in the league. So, they kind of put him right up there with Jordan and LeBron. So, obviously, if he is even in that conversation at all, his price is probably even too low based on these other players. Like a LeBron rookie debut out of 4,000, if Top Shot was around in 2003, I'm sure it would be more than what this is, just for reference. And then moving down, what I like about the rookies is it's based on how good they're playing at the moment and during the season of what these prices are. So one of the reasons for that, there's only 4,000 of their actual rookie moment, which is still a little too high based on how many people are on the platform, but people are making guesses here of who they think are going to be all-star caliber players, and this really reflects that. If you have some good games, like Chet Holmgren is a good example. I think he started off the season like pretty good, but then was playing extremely well, and I think this one kind of settled around $80 to $75, and then since he's been playing so much better, we've seen this one come up to 127. So these rookie moments, more so than anything else on the platform, I think actually makes a difference of how they're playing in especially their rookie year. But we can look at some other rookies as well and see their prices, like Halliburton and Edwards. I'd be interested to see what their prices are looking like after going over this. And then the third highest rookie is Brandon Miller now, who started off the season okay, but has been playing pretty well, honestly. And I think that this one was in the low 20s, and now it's crept up to $32 because he's been playing better. So you do like to see that from the platform and the rookies. And just again, the last time I'll say it, this is why I like collecting rookies, because their prices do fluctuate based on how they play. And the next reason, I guess, is because people are speculating on rewards that you get at the end of the season for leaderboards for being ranked pretty highly on the players with the NBA first team, but then they're also doing NBA rookie second team as well. So speculating on which guys will get in there, because you'll get free moments if you're on their leaderboard. So that probably has something to do with these prices as well for the rookies this year. And then Thompson actually has taken a decline here, and not exactly sure why. Maybe he's not playing as well with Bogdanovich back, but $28, that might be one of the lowest prices we've seen him. He had a lot of hype. I think this one was holding like close to $40 for a while. I guess we could pull it up on Own the Market Thompson here. So over the past 3 months, this one came in low 30s, and he was playing well in November, and this one was right around in the 40s, but has gone pretty far down since then. Low 40s to high 20s is a pretty big drop off, honestly, for him. And pulling up his box score, he has not been getting the minutes, I guess, with Bogdanovich backs, which is a reason why he's dropped off. I really like him as a player, but he just kind of does everything really well except for shoot the ball. So that may be an issue. He seems like he has a decent looking shot, but is shooting 13% from three. I've watched a couple of his games where they've left him just wide open from three, and he hit like 3 air balls in that game, which wide open shots. I guess that's why he's on the decline. Makes sense, but kind of a brutal decline here, honestly. Like if you bought, around Thanksgiving here at 43, $45, and now the lowest ask is $28, you almost lost, half your investment already. So pretty brutal decline on him. We did see it come all the way down to 24, 25, and now it's back up to 28. But this is honestly what interests me in Top Shot in the first place, is speculating on things like this. And now it seems like you can only really do this with rookies and these rookie debuts. And I'm glad that they've been emphasizing these this year. Let's move on. We've only got through the first four. We'll move faster through these guys. So Hawkes Jr., I was high on him early, and I did buy one for $7, I believe. And then he's been playing extremely well, and I think I sold mine for $18. He's up to $25 right now. Maybe a little overhyped, in my opinion. I can't see him being a star. I can't really see him ever averaging, 18 points a game or more in an NBA season. I might be wrong. But for just a really solid and good role player, I would not be buying Hawkes Jr. over Scoot Henderson, who I think has star potential. I think he can still be a 20-point scorer and average, 7, 8 assists, like 25 points or something like that. I still believe in Scoot. I think that his price has come down pretty far, and I thought it would drop more, honestly. He came back from an injury and played pretty bad before the injury, but maybe even like worse after. And I thought we could see a bigger decline in Scoot Henderson, and I would have gone for him. But early, when it first came out, it was high 30s, got all the way down, to the low to mid 20s, and kind of just sat there for a few weeks here. So I thought this one would drop more, and I would have jumped on it. But at 24, I still think we could see a drop because he's just not playing well. I think he can play well at some point in this rookie season, and we could maybe see this price go up comparatively to the other ones. Not saying at 24 the price is going to go up, because we could see the entire market of rookie moments drop down, which is why none of this is obviously financial advice. And then we got Amen Thompson, who could be undervalued. He was taken actually ahead of Ausar Thompson by one pick, is on a better team, and apparently Ime Udoka just doesn't want to play his young guys that much. When he's healthy, he's not really playing that much either, but they look very similar playing style-wise, and I think they could be, about the same. Amen Thompson could even be better. I think he's only played like 10 games or something. Comparing him to Ausar, $10 cheaper, maybe like 40% cheaper, 28 versus 18. Could be a decent one if you think that he's going to get more playing time, which doesn't really seem like he will be now. And they have a bunch of guys coming back from injury, like Tari Eason, and they just got someone else back from injury, I believe, as well. Then we've got Derek Lively here, who's playing really well. Looks like, maybe the fourth best player on the Mavericks. You maybe can even make an argument he's the third best player already, and playing really well with Luka. So I like Derek Lively. I think 16 is pretty fair for him. Maybe a tad high. I would think Keontae George would be higher. He's basically already the starting point guard in Utah, who's not a good team, but he's playing extremely well and looks like he could be a good player. I don't know if he's an all-star caliber type player, but possibly. And at 13 bucks, if he turns into an all-star in, next year or the year after that, I would think that's going to be a pretty good one to have here for 13 bucks. Jordan Hawkins, I think maybe overhyped. He played big minutes when, CJ McCollum was out. He is still playing, I think, a decent amount of minutes, but doesn't have a biggest role. So he's down to 11. Hawkins not my favorite, to be honest, but we could see his graph over the last 3 months came in, 13, 12, dropped down when he wasn't really playing. And then when he started playing a lot, this one came back up to 14, 15, and has just been hovering around 10, 11 now. Hawkins not my favorite. Koulibaly has been good. For him, I don't see star potential, though. I think he could be a pretty good player in the league. Cason Wallace, this one could be undervalued in my opinion because he has a huge role on this OKC Thunder team, and I think he has been playing pretty well. Like if we look at Cason Wallace, the last 3 games, 24 minutes, 25, 20 minutes, had a 15-point game in there. He's shooting 52% from 3, which is pretty wild. So having a great rookie season, I think he's definitely a candidate to be on the second team right now. So I think that one could be undervalued. Maybe one I'd be looking to add here, throwing in some offers. And then this guy, not going to try to pronounce his last name for the Warriors, I think is undervalued as well. If the Warriors start playing a little better, he's been playing a lot of minutes off the bench and has had some pretty nice games for $7. I think I scooped this one up for 4, and it's gone as high as I want to say 9 or 10 when he was playing pretty well for the lowest ask. So you can see early on here some sales, $5. I think I got mine for 4. And then you could see when he was playing well, this one was lowest ask of 10 a couple times, and I think that's as high as it got. And then we got Anthony Black. Doesn't have a huge role with the Magic, but could with Jalen Suggs miss more time. Grady Dick, never been a Dick guy. Cam Whitmore, I think, just is never going to play this year. So if you are buying this one to get for the leaderboards for second or first team, I don't think it's going to happen just because he's not playing. But I think he's going to be a good player, and in a couple years, he's a guy that could be an all-star type player. I think he's that talented, so definitely a risky one though. But at $6, I think compared to these other guys, a good price. Sasser played really well as well at points this season, but now they're getting healthier here, and he's not playing as much. Strother has played some really good minutes for this team. It's had some pretty nice games, but he really has to create a more consistent role for himself here. I don't think he's going to surpass Christian Braun with a role, but if he can get 10 to 15 minutes a night in the playoffs for probably one of the top 3 or 4 NBA favorites, that's probably going to see a big bump in the playoffs if he has a role like that as a shooter. Kamara, I'm not really sure much about him. I know he's played a decent amount for this team, but I don't think he does really one thing that well that will wow you to where you think he could be an all-star. Jarris Walker just hasn't had a chance really to play at all on the Pacers. For the leaderboards, not going to be a good one. I think he was a top 10 pick, I want to say, or around there. He's not going to do anything this year, really, unless they have some injuries or make some trades where they trade 3 players for 1 or something like that. For as far as long term, I think could be a sneaky one at just $4. Andre Jackson, to be honest, I'm not familiar with him. Sasha here, my guy on the Kings, has played extremely well in spurts, starting to play more and more now, and I think that it could be undervalued, but I'm not too confident in his role moving forward. At $4, I should probably start getting some of his, honestly. And then we're coming down to the end of the barrel. I'm not sure about this guy, to be honest. Jett Howard, I think he's just, behind Anthony Black, who's barely playing anyways. And then some of these moments are kind of terrible, to be honest. Like, you think maybe he was the guy shooting a 3. No, his moment is the assist. It's the pass. A pretty basic chest pass to a contested guy in the corner who hits a 3. It's like, okay. And maybe that was like his only stat of his rookie game. Trace Jackson Davis, he was great in college. I don't think he's going to play much on the Warriors, but maybe in the future he could be good. Kobe Brown is a guy I'm high on, and I have 14 of these. I got every single one at $2. People maybe not know much about him, but I'll give you guys a little breakdown of what I know about him so far. He was a first round pick, 30th overall. The last 3 games, he's played some minutes, 14, 17, and 11. And you may think they had some injuries or something, so he was playing a lot. That wasn't really the case. If we look at their last game, everyone's healthy here. Kobe Brown's getting minutes. His stats haven't been great, but he's playing minutes. Paul George, Kawhi, Zubac, Harden, man, their full starting lineup was there. Westbrook was playing, and Norman Powell. And then the only other guy, the 8th man to play minutes, was Kobe Brown, 14 minutes. And then PJ Tucker didn't play, Bones Highland didn't play, Coffee didn't play, but Kobe Brown played 14 minutes. So liking that he's actually in the rotation, basically the top 8 guy at this point. If he doesn't start playing better, it's probably going to fall out of the rotation in favor of Tucker or Highland or Coffee. But right now, they're trying it with him, and they've won 3 games in a row with him playing decent minutes. The other thing about him, if we look at his college stats, is he probably wouldn't have got drafted, but his senior year, he shot ridiculous percentages, 46 from 3, 55 from the field, and averaged 16 points a game. Can shoot the ball. His first 3 seasons was terrible shooter, so we'll see if his shooting translates to the NBA, but I think that's going to be his role, at least at first. He's massive, 6'7", 250 pounds for a guard. If you don't remember him from Summer League, he scored 35 points in a Summer League game and was averaging 17.5 points, 8.8 rebounds, 2.3 steals, and 1.3 blocks in Summer League before I think he like sprained his ankle or something in the last game. I think he has potential to be really good. Coming back here, if I got all these for $2, scrolling up, I think this year he has the potential to be better than like Koulibaly or Hawkins and Anthony Black and Brandon, whatever his name is. And if he just gets to around their price of $10, that's a 5x return on all 14 of these ones that I have. So that's kind of my thinking around this. I did scoop up this guy because I put out an offer for $1 and someone accepted $1 offer on that one. Nick Smith Jr., interesting player. He just reminds me too much of James Bouknight. He's pretty shifty, good scorer. I think could be good in the league, but even with LaMelo Ball out, hasn't really had a chance to play. So that's a bit concerning for his rookie year. Colby Jones, pretty bad. Never going to get really a real chance on the Kings this year. Jalen Pickett, again, I think he was a pretty late second-round pick, mid-round second-round pick. Not going to get a real chance with Denver. And same with this guy. I think it's pretty cool how these are priced right now based on how they're playing. Give you guys some that I think are underrated that you could maybe consider. Also wanted to look at some rookies of NBA Top Shot past and how they're doing right now. So out of these 6 guys, I'm probably missing one of the top rookies over the past couple years, but just off the cuff, Anthony Edwards is the top at 125, which is right around Chet Holmgren from this year. Halliburton 108, which is under Chet Holmgren. LaMelo 91. He also has the Rookie of the Year badge, which is kind of cool. And then Tyrese Maxey, $65. And then we got Scotty Barnes, 53. And then Evan Mobley way down at 32 now. And these guys have a good amount burned. 210 and 217 burned for Barnes and Mobley, which is something to take into account. It's not a huge percentage, but it is something. So pretty interesting. These 5 guys are ahead of all the rookies this year except for Chet and Wemby. And then we got Evan Mobley, who is actually right at Brandon Miller's level. But then again, these guys this year, there's more incentive to collect them right now because Brandon Miller could easily be a first team or second team. And you're going to need him for the leaderboards, while Evan Mobley, this moment's probably not going to come up unless there's like a leaderboard for defensive first team or second team or something like that. All right, so I went on really long about the stock market of the NBA and how I think these rookie moments are doing and just some of my thoughts on it. I thought it's cool that they're emphasizing rookies this year, giving them some added utility with the leaderboards at the end of the season for their rewards and how the prices actually matter based on how they're playing at the moment. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.